Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and belated Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I apologize I haven't been posting as regularly as I would want to. I've got some family stuff going on, and of course, I'm filming this on Mother's Day night, but you're not seeing it till the day after. So, of course, the holiday has gotten in the way a little bit here with all the big plans this weekend. I'm going to try to get back on track here in a little bit, so bear with me here. I'll try to get back to daily uploads. Anyway, today I want to do a video on sorting. One of my biggest holdups right now is I haven't had a lot of motivation and energy, and a lot of that is because I'm behind on sorting. Now this is one small bin of unsorted stuff, and I've already tackled a little bit of this tonight, but I probably have 5 or 6 of these that need to be sorted. And if there's anything in the YouTube world that I dislike about making these videos, it's the sorting. No slight against YouTube or anything. It's just that every time I build something, I gotta take it apart, or most of the time. For example, I just did this video on building techniques, and I've got all these walls. Well, when I'm done with them, they all gotta get re-separated. And when you're trying to post every day, it pretty much means it gets thrown in a bin, which is what most all of this stuff is. This stuff from various videos and projects I've done. And again, this is one of the newer bins of shame. I've got probably 4 or 5 more I got to do after this. But anyway, I want to show you the process I go through when I sort one of these out and how I get it back into the grand wall of parts. So typically the first thing I'll do, I'll take kind of handfuls out. I don't want to dump this whole thing because it's just too much to take on at once. And then I'll start to sort by color. Now, all my stuff on my wall is sorted by piece and color. In the comments, I always get people who say, oh, it's better to sort by piece. Few people will say, oh, it's better to sort by color. A lot of people will say, why do you sort by color? Piece is better. But the reality is I sort by both. If you have a good enough system, you can sort by both. You know, everything's by color, but within each bin is also by piece. So depending on how you set it up, you can do both, and that's what I prefer to do. But the first thing I do to break all this down is color. Now, I generally will set up kind of a rainbow effect here, where I'll keep my reds, greens, blues, tans, all that separate. So like, let's say over here, I start with a pile of dark tan. You know, over here, I can do some light tan next to it. I got to break all this stuff up before it goes in the bin. So I can do that now, or when I start to put it away. And then over here, maybe I'll take my medium nougat and go right here in front. You know, I got some red and orange here. You know, so dark red, I'm not going to have a lot of that, so I can leave a smaller pile right here in front. Same with orange. Black, white, and gray are always big, so I usually have black, dark gray, light gray, white, just going along the back there, because there's going to be a lot of those always. The most commonly colored pieces I use. Anything specialty like windows, these are not going to go in by color. These get sorted by piece only, sometimes by color within the pieces, but windows all go with windows. So those are going to make a separate pile. Then I'm always going to have a spot for specialty pieces, for example, stop signs. By the way, Lego needs to bring back stop signs. These are so hard to get, and it's just funny because it shouldn't be. At least here in America, this is the most common street sign you're going to find, and I think I have like 3 of them. They're very rare and hard to get, which is just dumb because this is a super commonly used sign, at least here in the States. I do separate these pieces, though. This goes in one bin. This actually goes in the bin but below it. So those are going to be in specialty pieces. I like to separate all my bars and hoses and stuff from not by color, but by piece. So I do have those in a separate bin. That saw there is a specialty piece. Here we got some gray. So light gray is going to go here. White will go here. These I keep separate in specialty pieces as well. More tan, gray, and I'll basically do this for this entire bin. That way I can, you know, bite it off in small chunks and just start taking one color at a time and putting it away. And this just works out better for me than trying to pull a bunch of bins down. It's nice to be able to pull the bin down once, put everything away, and move on to the next bin. Now, some of these colors, actually most of these colors, have multiple bins. So for example, black has 3 different bins. So I will have to sort this further once I get down to that point. But first we have to get to that point. Dark gray is there, gray, white. So now we have kind of a base laid here. I'll put my greens and blues over here. Brown should be over here with the brown scale stuff. Got some old gray here that kind of go in front of new dark gray. Plants, specialty pieces, pearl gold that I've got in a colored bin. So yeah, I'm going to sort the entire bin just like that, and then we'll start putting it away. So I'm going to put you in a time lapse here so I don't bore you to death. All right, so that's the bin there, all sorted out. I feel like I made some progress, but I gotta start putting this stuff away. And obviously I'm lacking table space now, so usually what I do is I pick away at the small piles first and kind of try to make a little bit more room before I tackle some of the bigger ones. Now often when I do this, I'll have twice as much in these piles, but it really is easier to bite it off in smaller chunks because otherwise you just start to lose table space, the piles start to blend together, and it gets tougher to do. But this is how I like to start, and then I'll start with the real small ones. Like dark brown here, I only got 2 pieces. Get our dark brown bin out. One color down. And then I'll move on. Some orange here. And this part I don't particularly mind. When I get into the colors that I have a lot of, it can be a little less fun. But when it's just a small amount like this, I actually don't mind this part. It's kind of cool. You get to see what you have, open up all the bins. But it's when you have to sit there for an hour and try to sort gray. And I have bins of gray that need to be put away that just don't fit in the bin, or I haven't had time to put in the bin. That's when it gets to be not as fun. This is dark orange tiles. Some dark red. And once I get a little bit more space, with these colors that I have multiple bins, I can lay out 2 bins at a time or pull the color up and have more room to sort it, especially if I have to start dividing it into multiple bins. Makes it a lot easier. And the dark orange plates. Three. Only have 1 bin of dark blue for now. Eventually it'll probably get 2. And it's a quite sloppy bin at that. You can see I've got some issues here I need to resolve. One of my biggest things I don't care for with this system is that these like to pull out or pop up like this, so the tops don't like to go down. And then I get frustrated and lazy, so I can try to do this. Or sometimes if it's real bad, I just pull the divider out and put it in sideways and deal with it later. Procrastination is one of my biggest flaws. Olive green, a color I really want to get more of. Lime green. So I'm going to work my way out here, and I'll show you everything here in time lapse, and hopefully we can get this banged out pretty quick. Okay, well, I got that all cleaned up. I know it looks quick in the video, but that little bin, to sort that out the proper way, took me about an hour. And I'll be honest, at the end, some of the stuff I didn't feel like sorting and pulling the bins out, I threw into another bin of shame. So it's a never-ending cycle, but it is what it is. We made some progress tonight. We got some stuff cleaned up. I got a lot more to do, and I'm going to plug away at it over the next few days here and hopefully get everything cleaned up the way I like it. This is kind of sad. In my construction mock, I've been using a lot of brown, and I had some real brittle pieces. Look at all this brown stuff I broke. I know I hate this. I know everyone's going to tell me, oh, you can email Lego, they'll send them to you. I'm sure they will, but a lot of this stuff is super old, so I'm not too concerned. It's funny, these dark brown ones crack, and they look just like that new piece where it's got the curve on it. I had 3 or 4 of these I was trying to fit in a specific spot, and they all cracked like the same way. And so anyway, that happens. That's something you just have to live with if you're a Lego person. And I know some of you are going to say that I oversort and I could save time by not oversorting, but this really helps with the creative process. It helps to know what I have. It helps to have everything at my fingertips. So when I need a certain piece in a certain color, it's right there. It's ready all the time. So this is how I do it. And hopefully you guys like this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we'll see you next time.